What was your "that's not what I expected" story? When I was 18, I worked at a coffee shop with a guy named Marcus. Chill dude, mid-20s, didn't stand out much. One day he mentioned how he lived alone in this apartment and that his neighbors were insane. He said they would bang on his walls, yell at him to shut up, even when he was just watching TV on low volume. He joked that once he coughed and they screamed back like he was throwing a party. A week later, Marcus suddenly stopped showing up. Nobody really knew why, and I didn't think much of it. About a month later, he came back. I asked where he'd been, and he told me he'd been fired for missing shifts because he was in the hospital. When I asked why, he just said, personal reasons. I told him it was good to have him back. A few days later, another coworker pulled me aside and said, "Hey, do you know what really happened with Marcus?" I said, "Yeah, he told me he was in the hospital, but that's all I know." Here's the story. A couple months before he disappeared, Marcus got fed up with his neighbors screaming at him through the walls. He finally called the cops to deal with it. The police came, supposedly talked to the neighbors for hours, then left. Later that night, Marcus called the station again, asking why it was taking so long. The officer on the phone said, "We left over an hour ago." That's when it hit. There were no neighbors yelling at him. Marcus was schizophrenic and had been hearing voices. He ended up spending a month in a mental hospital.